Hello and welcome back to Warsword Conquest Expanded, the big monster mod. And indeed, we have a pretty amazing thing to show off here. I decided that I was going to give us a little bit of money, yes, a little bit of money, because I want to experience a little bit of a new weapon. And it's not the Destroyer of Eternity's weapon, which I'm using right now as a melee replacement for my previous blade. It's this thing. Yes, it is the cannon. And the main reason why I'm wanting to use this is because I think it's going to be hilarious. And we're going to get to see it in all its glory. And just bear in mind that you would have to spend around 300,000 in cash. Whoa, okay, that was some big damage. I have no idea how many I actually killed, but apparently quite a lot. Yes, so indeed, this is the reason why I wanted to buy this. So yeah, 300,000 in cash if you want to buy 2 sets of ammo, I believe. I think it's 200 if you don't, but obviously we do. We do want to do that. And I'm obviously going to be attempting to use this as much as I possibly can. My Destroyer of Eternity's weapon has the instant kill mechanic, which is obviously going to be extremely useful against giant units. Now, I'm also deciding to go for the Destroyer of Eternity's weapon over other instant kill weapons, just purely because, well, I found this one. That's obviously, you know, kind of a big deal, because I don't really want to go searching around for other stuff. But it also has the ability to destroy and indeed kill mounts very fast. And obviously some certain, you know, units here and there are going to have incredibly good mounts and very, very difficult to kill mounts. I'm talking specifically about the Wood Elves here. Obviously, we're probably not going to be fighting against the Wood Elves or anything like that, but who knows, you know, who knows? Anyway, there we go. We did end up achieving victory here, surprisingly enough, actually, because I was kind of thinking that this would be much more difficult, but apparently not. Funnily enough, I only used my cannon once in that, so that's a bit strange, but okay, there you go. Anyway, we managed to take this. So now that I've tested out the cannon a little bit, I think it's about time we go over to OGRE and attempt to take it. This is going to be the final stand for, as you can see, the Archeon fellow is attempting to take Shrevold, which is over here, so I have to be a little bit careful about that. But yeah, this is going to be the last stand for the Realm of Chaos. If we can manage, this is kind of like a big if. If we manage to take, we might have a bit of a. Ooh, okay, that was kind of close. That was kind of close. I was going to say, if we can manage to take OGRE before Archeon comes over here, then we should be okay. But there are over 400 enemies in the garrison here. So we might indeed have a problem on our hands. I don't know whether we will, but let's see if I can use my cannon to the best effect. I'm not sure inherently why we're making our way up here, but apparently everyone wants to go up here, so I will follow them, I guess. Ah, yes, there is a bridge situation ahead of us here, so that is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to try to get to the front. I'm going to just go into first person here because the camera was a little bit annoying with those overhead beams that we were seeing there. And yeah, we're going to see if I can maybe do something very, very cool with my cannon, like now. Boom. Okay, well, that was cool. That was cool. I don't know how much damage we're actually doing, by the way. I have no idea. I've killed only 19? Really? Only 19? Okay, that's a little bit disappointing, I have to admit, but maybe I'm just not hitting in the right position. As we know with AOE weapons, it is very, very unlikely to have a significant impact if you hit your explosive in a, well, in a certain, shall we say, outer edge, the outer edge of the opponent's area and where they're currently stationed. Are we, wait a minute, are we causing damage? with a stench of Nurgle? Are we actually causing damage with the stench of Nurgle right here, or is that someone else? Because you can see here that I'm close to enemies and I'm now doing damage to them. Is that me? Is that me actually doing damage to them? Because if it is, that's hilarious, because I didn't know that the Stone Troll armor had that effect, because as far as I'm aware, that is indeed the Stone Troll armor. I don't think it is anything else causing that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But if that is indeed a hidden benefit or something to the Stone Troll armor, that is obviously fantastic. That is very, very cool, but I'm a little bit skeptical. I mean, you can already see here, look, we are indeed doing a lot of damage. We're doing a lot of damage. This kind of reminds me of the Warrior Priest from the Old Realms Bannerlord mod, you know, with the AOE that it has. And as you can see, if I stand in the middle of all of these enemies, we are doing more damage. So it must be me. Yes, it must be that I have an aura of some kind. That is extremely cool. I love that. Okay, let me actually just do this. Boom. Okay, did that actually do anything? It feels to me like that did quite a lot of damage, but it didn't kill a lot of enemies. So I'm going to assume that the cannon isn't super high damage or anything like that, but it does have some good potential for clearing out enemies. As you can see, it doesn't actually kill these enemies specifically because they are too dangerous. You know, they have a lot of HP and everything, so of course that's not going to really work, but it's going to be nice enough as it is to clear the way of all the weaker ones, shall we say, and that's definitely going to make a difference. But yeah, you can see here that we are just absolutely murdering everything. Gotta say, I love the Destroyer of Eternity's weapon. This is probably one of my favorite weapons in the entire mod, by the way, which is a bit funny because I don't know. I'm not sure if I've ever really highlighted how valuable this weapon actually is, you know, because I think maybe once or twice I have, but there is a very specific reason why I personally believe that it is a very, very good weapon, and that is not even because of the instant kill attribute, even though that obviously is really, really good as it is, but it also is a piercing weapon. It's also a piercing weapon, completely piercing weapon, so that's obviously something to bear in mind too, which is not normally something that you're going to really see that much with a slashing weapon. You're not really going to see that often. Let's just take some of these. There we go. Should I request that this be awarded to me? I could say yes, I guess. Sure. Genevieve has just learned the ignore pain skill. Wow, she is learning all the skills, isn't she? Yeah. She's very, very highly skilled. Okay, so let's go into the tavern. You never know. Maybe there's going to be something here. Oh, wait. There's a farmer. Yes, we can actually take advantage of this a great deal. Because if we do this, we then have the opportunity to gain another 38 renown. Because obviously we just had 38 renown from the siege, you know, being victorious there, and so we are now going to be gaining another 38 renown from this, which is actually incredible. So let's just do this. There we go. I killed how many of them? 34 in one barrage. That's pretty nice. As you can see, that is a very effective weapon indeed. It just very much depends on where you hit with the initial impact. That's really going to make a big difference. So, yes, anyway, apart from the piercing damage that the Destroyer of Eternity's weapon has, it's also, as I said before, and as I mentioned before, it is capable of killing mounts instantaneously, which I personally believe is really strong. Anyway, there's another 38 renown there. I'm going to say no to these guys. There we go. Going to gain some reputation and everything. That's very, very good. And now, let me actually just see what's going to happen here, because I'm pretty sure they might try to besiege this. If they do besiege this with Archaon, I am wondering whether we can achieve victory. Because he's running around with massive amounts of troops, right? He has literally like 400, 500 people. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm even going to be able to achieve victory versus him. Because you can see here, he has some crazy, crazy good units. So it might be a problem. Okay, hello there. We might have an issue, actually, with this. They have 136. If they have a large unit, we might have a problem. They might. I don't know whether they do. They do. Oh, the ice witch literally just killed a bunch. But yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You see this? I just killed one of their mounts instantaneously, and then I killed the other one as well. And that is just going to show exactly why this is such an incredibly powerful weapon. Just because I don't need to worry about these cavalry coming in here and doing massive damage and continuing to do massive damage. I don't need to worry about that because I can just kill them instantaneously. And that really makes a huge difference. It really does. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually use this over here, I guess. I don't really know, to be honest, where to really attack. But we're going to actually just send our infantry in because we need to try to delay the big unit in the back. At least a small amount. Because if we can do that, I might be able to get into range. Can I get into range? Here we go. Okay, now... Oh, no. Yeah, no. He's on me. He's on me. Okay, let's be a little bit careful here. I need to kill this guy, if I can. Oh, he's dead. He died. He's already out of... Okay, well, he apparently had no idea. He had no idea what he was facing. We've got some Tzeentch heralds as well. Yeah, wow. That was... Okay. Yeah, it's because we've got so many extremely powerful ranged troops, including myself now, because obviously we do have that wonderful cannon that is capable of doing some pretty massive damage. And the enemy sent their cavalry in really, really fast, which obviously made a pretty big difference to our effectiveness. But yeah, there you go. Pretty nice. I like it. There you are. Very good. Now we can take this little helmet there and yeah. So now the thing is, I would like, if at all possible, to take this and this fief, and then they only have Shrevold left, which would be fantastic. But the problem we're having is being able to separate the vassals from this area, because they are around here and they're very, very badly wanting to murder us. So, if we can... do I want to take this again? Whoa, they put a lot of people in here. They put a lot of people. I'm actually surprised. Okay, what? How did they do that? I guess Archaon did that, to be honest, didn't he? Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's go into Shrevold again. I don't really like doing repeat sieges. But because we have this cannon, we're going to show a little bit of it. The Bay of Blades has been besieged now as well, which is... I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of that, but we can't really do much about it right now. Now let's see if I can actually make this work. Obviously the Ice Witch did massive damage on the field of battle, which makes me question why she's not capable of doing that in a... siege. Is that true? There's a Lord of Change? Is there literally a Lord of Change right here? Okay, that is... That might be very bad. Oh, let's see. If it is, then we're gonna have a problem. But we might be okay. I'm just gonna use my... Oh, yeah. There is a Lord of Change right there. Yeah, okay. Let's just use my cannon real fast. Boom. Okay, that did nothing because I just missed. So that's wonderful. But thankfully, the reload speed of this thing is not actually that long. So I'm actually very, very pleased about that. As you can see, we just cleared a huge number of enemies out of the way, which is exactly what we want. And now if I can just fire one more time, I think we'll be able to clear even more. There we go. Nice. Look at that. Massive amounts. And the Lord of Change is having some problems, as you can see. So we don't really need to worry about him right now. Boom. There we go. Nice damage. And yeah, we're going to have to get into range of that guy, because otherwise we're going to be having some issues. And maybe, do I even need to, actually? You know, thinking about it right now, I might not even need to get into range, because they are... Well, he's stuck, right? He's stuck, so do I need to get into range? Probably not. I feel like it's probably not even necessary, which is hilarious in itself. But yeah, this Stench of Nurgle thing is crazy good. It just makes me wonder, are there other attributes and traits that the other armor pieces from the Monster Merchant have? I'm going to assume that there are. And in that case, that means that we are going to be having some incredible potential there. You know, the possibilities are mind-bogglingly good. Is that guy dead yet? Is he actually dead? Is the Lord of Change actually dead right now? Or is he just doing some weird jittery stuff over there just for the fun of it? I don't actually know. I think he is dead. Yes, he does seem to be dead, because he's no longer moving, you know, towards us or anything like that. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think I do have some Constitution now, even though I am poisoned. So hopefully that's going to be relatively decent for me. And this is the exact reason why I personally feel like the Stone Troll was the right way to go. Because the Stone Troll itself, as I didn't know this obviously beforehand, but as it has the Stench of Nurgle ability, this is really going to make a huge difference. This is going to make all the difference in the world when it comes to dealing with massive amounts of troops in garrison situations, like massive, you know, siege defenses as well as offenses. It's going to make so much difference to the amount of damage. I know it seems really, really small right now, but the tick rate for the damage is only every, what, every 3 seconds or so? Every 3 seconds? Every 2 seconds? I actually don't know. I think it's like every 3 seconds or so. And that by itself is so good. That is just so good, because it means that the damage is going to add up really, really fast. And it doesn't really matter how much damage you do with this thing, as long as you do a little bit of extra damage, because there are always those moments where, I don't know whether you've seen this in the past, you probably have, but there are always these moments where you literally have situations where the enemy has, you know, bunches of units running around with extremely little amounts of HP, you know, they're running around with, like, you know, 5 HP, 10 HP, and stuff like that. And you can't really finish them off that easily, because they're all, like, you know, standing next to each other, and they're all being really, you know, kind of a bit difficult to get to, because they're, of course, in a siege defense, or they're on a ladder, or something like that, and you don't have any kind of AOE to deal with them. But in that situation, you, of course, have an aura that is capable of hitting them through walls. It's capable of hitting them, you know, from a fair distance away, not too far away, but, you know, a good amount away. And that is fundamentally going to increase your efficiency. You're going to be able to clear enemies just that much faster, and it's really, really nice to actually see something like that. Anyway, we're just going to continue increasing Genevieve's strength. As you can see, she is an absolute monster right now. And we're going to continue increasing Bestiche's, I don't even know, athletics, I guess? I have no idea. I mean, he's currently using a firearm right now. And I think he's doing pretty well with that, to be honest. I don't think I really need to worry about him too much. So now let's actually just see here. What's going on with Sigvald? Does he have anything? Got a bunch of Slaanesh units, heralds as well. Okay, so Bay of Blades is under siege, which I really am not a big fan of. I would like to take Gotland if at all possible. You think I can do that without getting murdered by these guys? Oh, okay. I'm not entirely sure why we have this happening, but I was actually waiting for my poison to to be removed because I didn't really want to go into the next fight with a bunch of attack speed, movement speed, you know, reductions, penalties, whatever you want to call them. And, well, this is what has happened now. We are getting attacked by a demonic horde. Not entirely sure why that's happening, but alright, okay. If they want to attack us, then that is up to them. They're probably going to get absolutely murdered, let's face it. They are probably not going to have a great deal of... the accuracy of this thing leaves a lot to be desired, but of course that is indeed the point. You know, it is a massive weapon, and it is capable of some crazy cool amounts of kills, but of course... Did I just get poisoned again? Yes, I sure did. That's exactly the reason why I'm trying to get a decent amount of constitution now, because my desire to be alleviated from the from the effects of the poison in a much quicker, you know, time frame is so great that I really just want to make sure that that happens fast. It is so incredibly annoying. I don't know. It's just really, really annoying for me, but I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Anyway, we are right here at Gotland, as you could see. So, yeah, the problem is I am now poisoned again. Oh, really? Really? Okay, you're actually deciding to attack me? Okay, this is very interesting. So, yeah, as you can see, we have the poison effect right now. Do I actually have a potion of curing? No, I do not, of course. Of course I don't. Yes. Well, never mind. Okay, well, not a big fan of this battlefield, I have to admit. This is one of those battlefields that is a little bit inefficient for us. But maybe we can get a good vantage point here. I mean, especially with the Hell Cannon, you know, if we can get the Hell Cannon in a decent place, then we should be fine. I'm actually surprised this guy doesn't have any massive units. As you can see, he doesn't seem to. Let me actually see if I can shoot from all the way over here. Aww, really? Okay, that was unfortunate for me. Okay, let's just move these archers over here, move the infantry. Let's see if I can do some damage. Okay, look at that. We actually hit some people. That's wonderful. I like that. Okay, that's great. And what's really cool about the cannon, by the way, is that you can reload on the move. As you can see right here. I'm actually reloading right now as we speak. So, I very much appreciate that. And, yeah. Well, obviously, as you know, we are indeed in possession of a bunch of lead belchers. And, indeed, they are incredibly good. And, surprisingly so, to be honest. Surprisingly so. Okay, I might die here. Oh, no, never mind. The ice switch completely saved me. As you can see, for some reason, the ice switch is incredibly strong when it comes to field battles. Very interesting, because, as I said before, she doesn't really do that much in sieges, and that makes me wonder whether that is even a thing that she does cast in a siege. It could be that it would trivialize the situation quite dramatically, and that maybe that's the reason why she doesn't. But as you saw there, she got so many kills in just one spell cast. It was actually crazy. She saved my life, I think, to be honest. I think she actually saved me there. As you can see, she literally got 69 kills. Nice. Alright, yeah, that's very, very good. Anyway, ooh, Slaanesh armor. Very nice. Okay, I like that. Thank you. And, yeah, I might as well just go in, to be honest. I literally might as well just go in, because we are otherwise going to be consistently attacked by almost every single person under the sun. And we really want to try to avoid that, at least a little bit more. And it's always funny how Genevieve is the first one to go into battle. She is very eager, and I don't blame her. She's basically a complete monster. She could destroy everything in sight, and I wouldn't even need to do anything. She is that strong. She's basically like an ogre, but not an ogre. So that just makes me think that maybe playing as a female vampire would be the next really cool thing to do, potentially. Once we're done with the ogre, that is. Because that seems like a lot of fun, actually. I don't know. It depends on the I don't know. It depends on the stats, obviously, because obviously if it's a regular character, you know, standard start and all that stuff, then it's kind of, well, you know, not that special or anything. But if it has a special kind of situation going on with it at the very beginning, I think that could be extremely fun. So we'll try it out. We'll try it out at some point in the future. And otherwise, well, as you can quite clearly tell, I do think that this Stench of Nurgle aura is fundamentally crazy good. I think it is. I think it is crazy good. Okay, let's just use this. Okay, we basically did nothing. Okay, that's wonderful. I love that. Yes, I always very much appreciate when we do 0 damage. Yeah. It's a classic and a half, isn't it? Okay, I can't jump. Okay, I can't jump down there. It's an invisible wall. But that's fine. And this is, look at this. This is one of the situations that I was talking about. You see exactly what's happening right now? I'm not even in range. I'm not even in range of the enemy, and yet I was able to get a kill. Did you see that? I hope you did see that. I was able to get a kill, and that was another 3,600 experience for me because I literally just killed him with the aura. And that's exactly the reason why I was, you know, I was saying how, you know, how incredibly cool that is. Unfortunately, the enemy are making things a bit more annoying than I would like, but that's okay. I love the layout of these fiefs, by the way. I think that the modding team has done a great job, of course, as you might expect. Alright, there it is. 15 renown for us right there. Just basically waited until the, you know, till our forces made it all the way over to where the enemy was. And, yeah, we're just going to leave these guys in here, just to make sure that we have a couple of people in the garrison, of course, just to make sure that there's a little bit of a small delay, you know, a small delay in the enemy and their attempt to retake it. And, yeah, we otherwise will just make our way over here and just sell a couple of things. I have way too much stuff in my inventory, but I think the main problem is that I don't have a huge amount of inventory management. I think that's the main issue here. But, oh well, not much I can do about that right now. And, yeah, otherwise, we are pretty good. We're looking real nice. The Chaos are basically done. Kislev is almost done with that particular siege. I actually thought that was our people from the Empire, but it's actually Kislev. So that's not exactly great, but, you know, can't do much about that, as I say. And, ooh, there are so many vassals here. Okay, this could be exceptionally good for us. If I can actually do this, it would be fantastic. If we could get all these guys and potentially let them go, that would be really, really nice. Letting them go is going to be one of the greatest ways for us to get some reputation, obviously, because reputation is, well, it's not exactly, like, it's not super necessary or anything like that, but if we wanted to create our own faction at some point in the future, which I'm not entirely sure if I'm actually even going to do at this point, because I don't know, it feels like we've done a lot of work for basically nothing then, if we decide to do that, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's just shoot these guys. There we go. Nice, good amount of damage. We are getting firearm skill by doing that as well, by the way, so that's also nice. And Genevieve is leveling up like an absolute monster. Like, she is really just doing everything. Nice, massive damage right there. We leveled up to 41, and yeah. My army is just... I'm actually surprised that it is so incredibly effective, you know, because the funny thing is, I've had armies like this in the past, and it's never really been as effective as it has been now. So I'm gonna put that down to the fact that the expanded version of Warsword Conquest must have made some of these troops much stronger than they were beforehand. I'm going to assume that that's the case, at least, because I have never ever before had troops that were this effective, and I've played so many playthroughs of Warsword Conquest with a variety of different armies, and I've never once seen so much success in regards to how good our own troops are. Like, I've had people, like, I've had bunches of, Chaos Chosen, I've had, hordes of Skaven, I've had Orcs, Dark Elves, all kinds of crazy, crazy amounts of different unit compositions and things like that. And it's never felt as safe as what we have right here. This is just extremely strong. Obviously, Umyuk himself is really, really crazy powerful. He's probably the strongest character that I've ever played as, with the exception of Slythe, maybe, and maybe our Chaos Lord as well, because the Chaos Lord obviously was very, very strong. But it feels to me like Umyuk is indeed, I think probably the strongest, but that is indeed because he is an ogre, I guess, and he has so much HP. But I'm just saying, even without him being this strong, I feel like our army is incredibly powerful. That could also be, and I'm gonna say this right now, that could also be because of the Ice Witch. Because I think that has a much greater impact than we think. Because, I mean, that's obviously been a thing for quite some time. If you know about Warsword Conquest, you'll know that the magic system in the mod is very, very powerful. Like, if you know what you're doing, or if you have a bunch of magic users, they are going to they're going to win you battles really, really fast, right? They're going to win you battles very, very quickly, and they are going to be the reason why you're going to be, moderately successful. And I think that's maybe happening here. I don't know whether it is, but it feels to me like maybe that is indeed the case, because I am going in, and every single one of my troops is gaining ward save almost instantly because of what the Ice Witch is capable of casting. I think she's really, really good. And you can see here, there you go. That is indeed a victory for us. Unfortunately, this particular fief is not going to be something that I'll be able to take. So Kislev will have a small presence in our newly established front line, I guess, or a newly established territory. It's not really the front line, I guess. And yeah, I'm actually unsure who we're going to attack next. I'd like to attack Kislev, to be honest. I know that sounds hilarious, considering, they've been, well, they haven't really been helping us, but they've been kind of working with us to a certain degree, I guess. So it makes sense for us to ally ourselves with them as much as possible. But for me personally, I don't really like them that much, and I'm not sure why. But I've always had a bit of a problem with Kislev. I don't know what it is, but I think it's probably because of the Ice Witch is giving me some kind of trauma in the past. Anyway, that is it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.